and a lot of people with schizophrenia agreed. It's just, you hear a lot of things that sound very real. I mean, how can you, if you hear footsteps right now coming from your kitchen, you're not gonna go check? Really? Even though you know you didn't hear anyone break in, your security alarms didn't go off, you're home alone, you're not gonna go check?
What? Luna, great. Great.
Having hallucinations. My dog is trained to greet people. If she doesn't, then I know they aren't real.
And this is in 2024. Back then, when the Galvins start getting diagnosed with schizophrenia, there were actually two groups in the medical profession that believed schizophrenia was caused by two different things. Well, maybe there were like three groups. One group believed that it was purely genetic. It gets passed down in your genes. One group believed that it was purely environmental, that something happens in your environment and you develop this disorder. A third, very small group felt that it was maybe a combination of both. So way before Mimi and Dawn had their 12 kids, there was this man in Germany, which would undoubtedly impact the Galvin's family lives. Like, it's crazy how things are intertwined. His name is Daniel Paul Schreiber. He's gonna write this book that's gonna impact almost everyone with schizophrenia eventually. Daniel is the son of this child rearing expert in Germany. Daniel's dad has, I don't know how to explain it, but he has a one-sided fight with bad posture. He thinks it is the hallmark of a bad child. So much so that his whole career, he creates and sells these upright posture machines, which are chair attachments that force children to sit up straight, completely straight. There's straps. Imagine like a wooden backpack with straps, and it's like tied to a chair. They cannot lean. They cannot slouch. Nothing. There's one that has a head holder with a chin clamp, and it's supposed to keep the child's head in a fixed, straight position. The chin clamp will not let you tilt the head down. It's all about looking straight ahead of you. God forbid someone throws a football at you from above. You would have to lay down to look up at it before it slams into your face. He was just crazy about monitoring kids' chewing methods. He didn't like the way kids chewed. It's not correct. So he created this chin ribbon, which is like a rubberous chin strap that you wear around your head, and it restricts how much you can open your mouth and how much you can chew up and down. He created bed restraints for parents who wanted their kids to sleep on their back, straight on their back. These devices were obviously not just uncomfortable, but potentially harmful. Also, they're just cruel. I imagine if that's what he's doing with other people's children, he's doing that with his own child, Daniel. His whole messaging is, you gotta break children. They're like a good pair of leather shoes. You gotta break them in first.
I'm glad my grandma didn't find out about him, because she would be the number one customer.
Yeah. He also did this thing where if a child is acting up, he would freeze them. He called it freeze punishment. Essentially, he would throw them into an ice bath for prolonged periods of time. For some reason, everybody thought he was a genius. Daniel was the first person example that his dad knew what he was doing. Daniel ends up becoming a lawyer, then later a judge. He gets married. He has this very perfect life that every parent dreams of for their children. And then at 51 years old, his mind breaks. He is diagnosed with hallucinations and insanity. A few years later, that condition would be renamed schizophrenia.